You're doing fine. Welcome back to my channel, Flutter with me. So today we are going to work around with animations in Flutter. So what I'm going to use is the Lottie package that Flutter has provided us with, and I really find it very useful as the assets and images we can use in here are already predefined. They're already animated. We just have to put them in our gallery and assign some functions to it. I mean, we have to put them in our code and assign some functions to it so that we can use it properly. So without any ado, let's get started with using this in our Flutter. So as you can see here, I have the basic Flutter package here. Okay, I've already added a scaffold and an app bar, just named it and everything. So let's just go and look at the Lottie package. So this is the Lottie package, Lottie, that's the name. So I've already installed it, but I'll just show it to you again how I do that. So with Flutter, I'll just use this, I'll copy this, I'll add it to the terminal. So I'm sure it will say it's already in use because I already have it. Let me just go to my pubspec.yaml and show that to you. So once we are inside here, you can see that here it is. Lottie package is already there. So let us just go ahead and see how we go on to use it. Okay. So the first thing that we are going to do is we are going to their website, the Lottie website. So there are many different packages here that you can use, many different images and animations. So the first one that we are going to try is a loading one, the simple one. So let's just go with that. We'll go to the loading. So there are different ways we can use this. We can either download it or we could directly use the image URL. So what I am going to do here is I'm going to use the URL here. So I'll just copy this URL. I'll go back to my code and inside our scaffold, I'll type in the body. So for the body, I'll make, I'll select the center. Center, I'll give a child, and the child here will be Lottie. So that I'll select the network image here as we are using a URL. So I'll select the network. For the URL, I'll just paste what we copied from there. Okay, so once I save this, you will see that the animation comes on. As you can see here, the animation is now here. It's too large. So let's just go ahead and wrap this inside the size box. I'll give it a height of, let's say, 100 and width of, let's say, 200. So now if I save this, you can see that the size is also small. So you can see that the animation has already started coming through. So when we are working with animation, in most of the animations, they work on user input. They are not meant to be displayed continuously, like this animation here is being displayed. Like continuous animations don't always work. You don't always need them. So we'll go ahead and start with like how we can work on starting and stopping the animations. Okay. So for that, what we will need to do is that we'll need to save this file. We will tap the icon to run an animation. We'll create a, we'll use an icon from the Lottie gallery, and also we'll create an animation controller. Okay, so let's start with that. The first thing that we need to do is we'll need to assign an animation controller. Let me just, stop this. Okay, so it's stopped now. So the first thing that we need to do is we'll need to assign use an animation controller. So let's just create one. So I'll create late final animation controller, and I'll name this animation controller. So this is what we are going to do. We'll also need a init state to, initiate our animation controller. So we'll just create one. So inside the init state, we'll just initialize it first. So we'll say super dot init state. And then what we will need to do is we'll need to assign this animation controller we need to assign the parameters to it. So this generally takes in two major parameters that we need to use. The first one is the vsync and the second is duration. So for the vsync, we just will use this, and for duration, I'll just select the duration in seconds. I'll let's say keep it for 2 seconds. Okay, so see now we are using animation controller, so we'll also need to add the single ticker provider state mixin to our home page. So I'll do that here. I'll say with single ticker provider state mixin. So what does a ticker do? Tickers are used to define what happens when the animation starts and stops. It's basically the in-between functioning of when an animation is working. Okay, so I'll just add a const here. All right, so now we have initialized our animation, but other than that, we also need to dispose it. And to dispose the animation, we'll use the void dispose. So now inside we'll super dot dispose. Okay, and we'll also need to dispose the controller. So we'll use animation controller dot dispose. So this is the basic thing that we need to do in case of any animation we are trying to put into our code here. And also we need to make a boolean so that we can control the state. So I'll just okay. So before we do this, let me just go back here. So the next thing I'm going to use, the next animation, I'm going to use this one. This is like a saved folder, whether you are saving a file, a folder, or anything, just an animation regarding that. So I'll just copy this here, okay, and I'll paste this into here. Sorry. Okay, so this is what I paste into here. So I'll just create a bool. I'll name it file saved, and for default, I'll set it false. So this is our bool here. Okay, so the next thing that we need to do here is that we're going to define the functionality of this. So now we have this Lottie.network. So let's just wrap it inside the gesture detector. So our gesture detector is going to take on tap, and inside the on tap we are going to say if the file is clicked or not clicked. So what is the boolean that works when it's clicked, and what happens when it's clicked again. So let's say in our on tab, if file saved, so if our file saved, oh, I'm sorry, I selected something wrong here. So this is a conditional argument. If our file saved is equal to false. So the first thing that we need to do is we'll set this as true. And the next thing that we are going to do is we are going to start the animation. So we'll say animation controller dot forward. So this is going to start the animation here. Okay, and if this is not the case, so what we are going to do in that case is we are going to say that file saved is equal to false, and we'll move the animation controller to reverse. Okay, so this is what happens. All right, and also we need to define the controller inside this. And to define the controller, we need to define it inside the Lottie network. So the controller, what that is going to do here is that the controller is going to take care of how the animation works. So let me just do that here. Okay, so we have defined the controller. So let us just start this here now. Let us just build the app again. Okay, as you can see, the app is now building. So I find Lottie actually very useful. I mean, there are a lot of different animations. There are a lot of free animations that you can use on in your day-to-day apps, and you don't have to like work around with the modifying each and every aspect of how the animation is going to do and what's it's going to do. So the app build is almost done now. Let's just wait for it to come up. It's just okay. You can see that the icon is here now. So once I click on it. Okay, you can see that the icon is animating now. It's showing me a symbol that the file is saved. And let's just see what happens if I click on it again. You will see once I click on it again, it's showing you that the has gone out and now it's unsaved. So this is how Lottie animations work. Okay, and I hope you found this video useful, and I'm sure, and I would like you to use it in your day-to-day apps and see how everything works on here. If you have any questions, just put them in the comment section, and I'll try and answer as many as I can. Thank you and have a great day. Please do subscribe to my channel. Have a great day. Bye bye.